Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Adrien, and this morning we're just going to go through a nice short flow just to get all the stiffness out of the body, all the tightness, get all those muscles awake so that you can have a fantastic day ahead. So that said, let's go ahead and start at the front of your mat. I'm going to just stay in a side view for you for a moment. Then we're just going to take a moment just to roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Take the hands, park them right next to the hips, palms facing forward. Close the eyes down, and then just spend a few moments grounding down through the feet, finding this nice length through the head, and just taking a few breaths here. Throughout these few breaths, just noticing how the body is feeling this morning. Noticing if there's any kinks or stiffness or soreness. That's why we're here. Also, we're here to just kick off the day with a nice short flow. Nice, and then just go ahead and gentle the eyes open. We're going to start right away with some movement of just pedaling through the feet. So we're just lifting one heel at a time. And then we're going to add some movement with that upper back, taking it around into these circular movements. So the arms are swinging free here. These first few movements where we're going to just find just a lot of mobility, just to kind of, again, get all that stiffness out. So just a few more times, pedaling through the feet. We can start to widen those arms, maybe bring them around so that we're going to pat into the back body or maybe into the chest a little bit. Just a little wake up pat. Just a few more times. Working through the spine, pedaling through the legs. Perfect, and then we're just going to slow that down. And then come all the way back around to center. When we're in the center, we're going to start to get into that lower body a little bit more and upper body. We're going to take the hands so that they're floating right in front of the chest. And then we're going to find some shoulder openers, opening up chest openers and shoulder openers, taking those fingertips out. Now we're going to add a little bit of movement here, a little bit of balance by coming up onto the balls of the feet when we open out. And then when we come in, we lower the heels down. So I'll do this to the side a little bit so you can see me. I'm opening up, a little wobbly this morning. Couple more times, opening up and lowering down. And again, the brain working with the body here. And we're going to continue that lower body movement of lifting the heels up. Now we're going to take the hands up and over the head as we lift up and down. So a few more times, lifting up and down. Also getting that heart rate up a little bit. Doing this nice check-in. A few more times, lifting and lowering. Hopefully those feet are feeling like that's a nice wake-up call for them as well. Perfect, go ahead and come back down. We're gonna walk the feet a little wider than hip width apart. So the outside of the hips, the hands are gonna come onto the hips. We're gonna find these nice big circles here. So taking the hips around, big sassy hips, circling around. From one side to the other. Just a few more times in this direction. And then reverse the direction, take it around to the other side. Make sure that you're bending those knees as you come around. Sassing those hips out. Noticing if there's any stiff spaces throughout the hips. Coming back up to that standing position, walk the feet so they're back to hip width apart. I'm just going to turn away from you for a moment. We're going to take the hands, they're going to face away at the lower back, and then we're just going to bring those elbows towards each other. So elbows, another chest opener and shoulder opener. Fluttering those wings back and forth a few times. Squeeze the shoulder heads together. Make sure we're not locking out in the knees. We're not digging in with the toes. Perfect. Then we're just going to take those arms out into this wide T shape, and we're just going to flutter where we take the thumb facing down, palm up, facing down, and back and forth a few more times. So that thumb comes down, thumb comes up. Arms are at shoulder height. And lastly, checking in here. Back hand or both hands towards the back, But that lower hand is facing away from the body. That upper hand is cupping towards the head. And then we're just going to reverse it out a few times. Checking in once again, making sure that there is some softness in the knees. And we have some buoyancy there. My arms are yelling at me a little bit. Nice, and then we're just gonna find our reverse prayer. So take the hands to the lower back, bring the palms together, and now your hands may not come up as far as mine, and that is okay. You can have them lower, and you can just touch the fingertips together. We're just giving a little wake-up call to the wrists and to the forearms. And then press the spine into the knife edge of the hand. See if you can find a little opening through the chest here. Close the eyes down, and just feel a nice stretch for just a moment. Couple breaths. And then releasing that reverse prayer, go ahead and shake the wrists out. Nice, and just a couple little more things for mobility here. We're gonna take the feet, we're gonna walk them once again to that about outside hip width apart. I'm gonna create a butterfly shape here with the hands. So I'm gonna hook the thumbs together. Fingertips are going to be nice and wide. I'm gonna widen my feet just slightly more, and then take the hands up above the head. We're gonna bend the knees, and we're gonna bring the fingertips towards the heels. Now take your time through this, find a little back bend when you come up. So we're coming into this miracle bend, starting to wake up the spine. Moving at a pace that's working for you. You can keep some softness and a bend into the knees throughout the entirety of this movement. Lowering down. Keep pulling the thumbs as if you were trying to part the hands. You might speed this up or slow it down, whatever is working for you. Just a few more times. Lowering and tracing. Nice, getting that spine nice and supple just a couple more times. Nice, and then come back up nice and tall. Pull the thumbs for just a moment, close the eyes down. So just pull the thumbs, really good to get a good stretch into the hands. Then release, let the hands come back down. Keep the feet nice and wide. Actually widen them a little bit more. And then we're going to turn the toes inward. And we're going to slide down, come into a wide-legged forward fold. You can walk the feet even wider if you would like to. Again, toes are in, heels are out. Now, right hand is going to come down to the earth. If you need a block, you can always take a block underneath the hand. We're going to take that right hand, excuse me, I said right hand is down. We're going to take that left hand up, and then we're just going to bring it through to the other side. So a little sway of taking that arm up, and then as if you're cradling it, take it around to that opposite side. See if you can follow the hand with the gaze. So take the head up towards the thumb as you lift, and then down as you bring it towards that right foot. Let's do that 2 more times on this side. Perfect, and then we're gonna raise up and hold here in this twist for just a moment. See if you can stack the shoulders, open up a little bit more, press into all 4 corners of the feet. And then we're gonna rotate that hand down right below the face. Again, you can use a block or a book if you need to bring the earth up to you a little bit. We're gonna come into that T-spine twist again, now taking that right arm up, that chest comes over to the right side. Then we're gonna swoop the hand over to the left, and then raise back up. Making sure the head is following this movement, opening up, crossing the body and over to the other side. Let's do that just twice more on this side. And then go ahead and bring that hand up. Let's hold here for just a moment. Peel that chest open. See if you can stack the shoulders. Breathing deep. And we'll lower the hand down to the earth. Find this wide-legged forward fold for just a moment. Let the crown of the head come down nice and heavy. Notice where you're distributing the weight through the feet. We want to be pressing in through all four corners. So we're not towards the toe mound or not towards the heel necessarily, as much as we're pressing into each corner of the foot. Take another deep breath here. And exhale, take it all out. Hands come to the tops of the thighs. We're just going to tip that tailbone under and round all the way up to standing. Heel toe the feet together and then come back to the front of the mat. Take a moment just to pause and notice if you're feeling maybe a little more wide, awake, a little more energized from when you started. Let's take an inhale, reaching out skyward. Exhale, melt all the way down into a forward fold. Plant the hands onto earth. Step one foot at a time, coming back into your downward facing dog. And as downward dog, you can pedal out a few moments, bending into one knee and then the other. You can always shake the head yes and no. And then coming into stillness for just a moment, sink the chest back towards the tops of the thighs. We're going to walk the big toes to touch, taking that right heel up towards the ceiling, find a three-legged dog. Knee comes in towards heart, nose towards knee and round. Take the shoulders right over the wrists and just stay here for just a moment. Then we're going to step or carry that foot to the front of the mat. Back knee lowers down to the earth. Coming into this low lunge, I want to be cautious as I come up. So I'm going to take the hands first to the top of the knee and then raise on up. Reach both fingertips up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe we tip back slightly, but we're staying tall through the spine, reaching up and out here. Now that right hand is going to come down to the back body, and then that left hand, we're going to reach up and overhead, really getting deep into side body, starting to get into that front hip flexor of that back leg. Release the hand from the lower back, come back to center, reach both hands up, tip back once again. Now coming forward, we're going to take that left hand forward, that right hand back and come into a twist here. Take a couple breaths. This is a fantastic place to stay. You can take that back hand, that left hand, or excuse me, right hand to low back as we reach that left hand a little bit further forward. Or you can hook the elbow around to the outside of that leg. And once again, you can use the leg or use the, use the leg to open up a little bit more. Balance check here. Or you can bring that back hand around, create this little prayer twist, bringing a sternum towards the thumb. Keep breathing. So finding that space where you can twist comfortably. Twists are a great way to wake up the spine in the morning. And then we're just going to unwind, come back around to center. Reach both hands up skyward. Melt the hands down to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toe, raise the back knee up off the earth. Step that front foot to meet back foot. And once again, we come into our downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep inhale in. And an open mouth exhale, release and let it all go. Walk the big toes to touch once again. This time we'll take that left heel up towards the ceiling into our three-legged dog. Knee will come in towards chest, that nose towards the knee, and we'll round here. Those shoulders are right over the wrists. Maybe pick up that knee closer to the chest. Checking in with our strength this morning too. Now step or carry the foot to the front of the mat. Lower the back knee down to the earth. Take the hands to the top of the leg to raise up nice and safe. Reach the fingertips back up skyward. Roll the shoulders down the back. Take the thumbs back towards that back wall. Keep pressing through the entirety of that front foot. So if you notice that knee is sinking in towards center, keep pressing it so that it's the center of the toes. Now recenter the body. Take that left hand to the low back. Right there at the low back, we'll reach that right hand up and over to the left side. Breathe into side body. Releasing hand from low back, reach both fingertips up. Now we're taking that right hand forward, left hand back into our twist here. You can stay right here with those arms lifted in that T shape, or you can take that back hand to the lower back like we had it just a moment ago. That front hand, we're going to take the elbow and we're going to bring it around to the outside of that thigh. This is this perfect space to stay, peeling that shoulder open, the chest open here. You can always take that back hand around to meet that front hand, come into a little more of a prayer twist, taking the sternum towards the thumbs, and keep breathing. Here for just another breath. We're going to revolve around, come to center, reach the fingertips back up skyward. Melt the hands to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toe, raise the back knee up. This time we're going to step that back foot to meet the front foot. We're going to melt down into a forward fold at the front of the mat. Bend the knees, stick that booty back, and roll all the way up, slowly coming to standing. When we come to standing, just like we did at the beginning of our practice, part the hands, bring them down towards the hips, palms are facing forward, close the eyes down, and just spend a few moments noticing the changes in the body from the short practice. Noticing the changes in the breath, maybe the changes of your mind. Join palms together at heart center. I want to thank you so much for joining me and sharing your time this morning on your mat. Please come back to this video anytime you would like to wake up the body before you get moving through your day. Please comment below how this worked out for you, and take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Namaste.